Hi, thanks for stopping by. I'm excited that my new song, Stranger Things, is going to be released soon. I can't wait to share it with you. But I thought it'd be fun over the next several days to post some of the stories from my life, stories that showcase some of the stranger things that God has done for me and in me and through me over the years. I want these stories to ignite some faith in your heart, that you can begin to see just some of the ways that God answers our prayers, some of the amazing, mysterious, miraculous things that He does in the lives of ordinary people. So the first story I'm going to share with you is actually a story about this piano right behind me. It's one of my favorite stories, and it's definitely a strange one. So sit back, and I'm going to actually just read an article that I wrote about this because I don't want to miss out any important details, because I think the details really matter. So sit back and listen to this story, and let it inspire some faith and hope in you. Well, I was 29, living in Vancouver, Canada, and dreaming just about three things: getting married, having children, and writing my own songs that would point people to Jesus. Discouraged from the dating scene, I realized that my best efforts were getting me nowhere, and no closer to a husband and kids. So I decided I would shift my focus to music. To get me moving in the right direction, I decided that I needed to buy a piano, despite my limited piano skills. Because my job with a parachurch organization didn't allow for a lot of extras, such a purchase would really require trust. But I was never one to shy away from a great faith adventure, so I began to comb the online ads until I found a gently used Yamaha P200. One day, as I was tinkering on my new piano, I realized that my sister, an accomplished pianist, did not have a piano to play. I knew how much joy I felt from just a few lightweight chords, and I could imagine the frustration of having much more complex harmonies at my disposal, but being without an outlet for their expression. Unmistakably, I felt the Lord urging me again to buy a piano, but this time for my sister. I've got to admit, my spirit bucked. I wanted to plug my spiritual ears, close my eyes, stick out my tongue and say, "La la la la, I can't hear you." After all, I just purchased a piano that stretched me to my financial limit, and I was fearfully aware that I would soon need to replace my aging car. "I'm a single woman working for a nonprofit," I said. "Isn't my life an act of generosity in and of itself? Do I really need to buy this piano for someone else?" Well, the more I thought about buying another piano, the more I convinced myself that God would not be asking this of me. But just in case, I checked the online ads in my sister's neck of the woods and was so pleased that there were no Yamaha P200s for sale there. No piano, no sacrifice. Well, as the weeks went by, however, the thought of purchasing a piano for my sister visited my thoughts regularly. Sometimes I dismissed the idea immediately, and other times I would again check the online ads. Each time, great relief came when I saw that no piano was available. As I suspected, the time soon came for me to replace my aging car. I obtained a loan to purchase a used Honda Civic, exactly what responsible women in my line of work drove. I did everything I knew to sell my old car, but after several weeks, it still sat. Eventually, I took the car to my parents' city, hoping to improve the chances for a sale. Still, nothing happened. One day, as I was praying, probably asking God for the millionth time to send me a man to marry, the "buy your sister a piano" notion interrupted yet again. But this time, it was accompanied by the message, "Your car doesn't owe you anything. Use the money from the sale of your car to buy her the piano." I knew that I was not going to escape these nagging thoughts, so I asked for confirmation. "Okay, God, I know it's you asking me to do this if you sell my car this weekend. I figured the chances of it selling that particular weekend were pretty slim, and I hoped that I might soon be able to put this piano thing to rest. To my astonishment, shortly after I lay that fleece before the Lord, my dad called and asked me to approve an offer on the car that he had received. I accepted and sold the car that before the weekend was out. By that point, my reluctance to buy a piano for my sister had turned to enthusiasm, and I eagerly searched the online ads. My spirit leapt when my eyes landed on the ad for a piano that was the same as mine, located just 60 minutes from where my sister lived in rural Manitoba, Canada. I called the seller right away and made arrangements to send the money and pick up the piano. If the story ended there, it would have been a great reminder about how God leads his children and answers prayer. But this story packs a triple punch because it also serves as an example of how we can never outgive God. You see, not long after I purchased the second piano, and even before my sister received the gift, in what might appear to be some act of desperation, I joined an internet matchmaking service and met a man named Matt from Columbus, Ohio. We began corresponding, and it soon became obvious to us where things were heading. Before our first face-to-face meeting, Matt told me a story that made my jaw drop. A couple years earlier, he entered a contest and won a one-of-a-kind Yamaha baby grand piano that had been signed by more than 75 artists, including Elton John, Amy Grant, Vince Gill, and American Idol's most colorful judge, Steven Tyler. Well, 8 months after our first online contact, I not only became Matt's wife, but the co-owner of this beautiful white baby grand piano. And to think I was dragging my feet to follow God to give away a meager electronic keyboard. I've often wondered where I'd be today if I had not followed God's lead. What blessings might I have missed out on? So this is that piano, and I'm going to pick up my phone here and show you some of the signatures. I've got to confess, this is my favorite one right here. This is the one who is probably responsible for my love of singing and my dreams to write music. So there you have it. There is my first story. I'm calling this series Stranger Things Unscripted. Although this was kind of scripted because I read you the story, but hopefully you get the idea. I think future stories won't be scripted like this. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Bye.